a force that grips us all, a shadow that lingers at the edge of every decision, every change, every new beginning. It whispers in your ear, doesn't it? What if? What if I'm making the wrong choice? What if this all goes wrong? What if I'm not strong enough to handle what's next? The truth is, the unknown can be terrifying. It makes you feel vulnerable and powerless even. The uncertainty wraps itself around your mind, suffocating your confidence, your clarity. And in that haze of doubt, you start questioning everything, your abilities, your decisions, your worth. But let me tell you something, this fear, it's universal. Everyone feels it at some point in their life. Everyone faces the unknown, whether it's the fear of starting over, the fear of failure, or the fear of losing something or someone you love. You feel it every day, don't you? The creeping anxiety of what might happen. You wonder how you'll handle it when things don't go as planned. You imagine the worst. You feel that weight in your chest, and suddenly the fear becomes all-consuming. Maybe you've tried to push it away. Tried to ignore the whispers. You've buried yourself in work and distractions, in routines, hoping that by staying busy, the fear will fade. But it doesn't, does it? It lingers. It's for the quiet moments, for when you're alone with your thoughts, and that's when it strikes hardest. Let me tell you a story. There was a time in my life when I faced my greatest fear. A long-term relationship I had invested my heart and soul into was nearing its end. The person I loved had betrayed me. Day by day, I watched her pack her things, slowly putting away from the life we had built. Every day I woke up with dread, knowing it could be the day she would leave for good. The unknown loomed over me like a dark cloud. I didn't know how I would handle it. I didn't know who I'd be without her. The fear of being alone haunted me, filled my mind with endless what-ifs. What if she left? What if I wasn't enough? What if I couldn't survive without her? But here's what I realized: the unknown wasn't my enemy. It wasn't there to break me. It was there to push me, to test my limits, to show me that even in the face of losing someone I thought I couldn't live without, I could still stand tall. I didn't need to fear it. Yes, she left. Yes, I faced days of silence. Days where the weight of that loss felt unbearable. But you know what? I didn't break. I rose from it. And in rising, I learned something even more. I stopped looking at everything that was broken as a problem. Instead, I saw it for what it truly was: a challenge. They're not personal, they're tasks, goals waiting to be achieved. They aren't there to defeat you, but to shape you, to test your strength, your resolve. Once I saw it that way, the fear began to lose its grip on me. I realized that the unknown was not something to fear, but something to conquer. A challenge to be faced head-on. I chose to rise to that challenge. So will you. And now, let's talk about you. Maybe you're standing at the edge of something new, something uncertain. You're scared, aren't you? You feel like everything you've built could crumble if you make the wrong move. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a job. Maybe it's something you've been thinking about for years but never had the courage to start. And now you're faced with a choice: stay where you are safe, familiar, but unfulfilled. Or step into the unknown and take control of your life. It feels impossible, doesn't it? Like the weight of that decision is too much to bear. Let me tell you something. The fear of the unknown is nothing compared to the regret of staying stuck. I know it's hard. I know you're scared. But that fear, it's just a sign that you're on the verge of something great. It's your mind's way of protecting you from the unfamiliar. But growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens when you step into the unknown, when you take that leap of faith. So, what do? The first step in conquering the fear of the unknown is to embrace it. Don't run from it. Don't try to silence it. Instead, face it head on. Fear thrives in the darkness, but the moment you shine a light on it, the moment you confront it, its power starts to fade. You have to change your perspective. Stop seeing the unknown as a threat and start seeing it as an opportunity. An opportunity for growth, for change, for becoming the person you were always meant to be. Because here's the truth: nothing great ever came staying in your comfort zone. It's the unknown that brings out your true strength. Let me give you another story. There was a time when I feared failure more than anything else. I had a dream, something I wanted more than anything. But I let fear hold me back. I stayed in my comfort zone, convinced that if I tried and failed, it would be worse than never trying at all. I let that fear control me for years. Then one day I made a choice. I decided that even if I failed, I'd rather fail chasing my dreams than live a life of regret. So I took the leap. And you know what? I did fail. Over and over again. But with each failure I got stronger. Each setback taught me something, and eventually I succeeded. Not because I never failed, but because I refused to let fear dictate my life. You have the power to do the same. You've already survived the worst moments in your life. You faced challenges, heartbreak, loss, and yet here you are. Still standing, still breathing, still fighting. That is your strength, that is your power. The unknown may be scary, but it doesn't have to control you. Now I know what you're thinking, but what if I'm not ready? What if I can't handle what's next? Let me tell you something, you are more ready than you realize. You've been preparing for this your entire life. Every hardship, every challenge, every fear you've faced up until this moment has made you stronger. You've been building resilience. You've been growing. Now it's time to trust that you can handle whatever comes next. Here's what you need to do. So shift your focus. Instead of thinking about what could go right, the unknown isn't just filled with danger, it's filled with possibility. Every step you take into the unknown is a step toward growth, toward new opportunities, toward a future you can't yet see. Second, remind yourself of your past victories. You've overcome fear before. You faced the unknown before. Think back to a time when you were afraid. When you thought you couldn't make it, but you did. Let that memory fuel you. Let it remind you that you are capable of more than you think. Third, create your own narrative. Don't let fear write your story for you. Take control. Decide how you want to face the unknown. Decide that you will face it with courage, with strength, with determination. You are the author of your life, not your fear. And here's a tool that will help create a phrase. In those moments when fear starts to creep in, when the anxiety of the unknown grips you, you need something to anchor you. A phrase, a reminder of your strength. Say this: the unknown, there is freedom to let go of what was and embrace what could be. Another could be, by stepping into the unknown, I am not losing control, I am gaining the power to shape my future. When fear tries to take over, repeat your phrase out loud in your mind wherever you are. Let it ground you. Let it remind you of your power. This phrase will be your lifeline in the storm. Let me speak to you directly. You've been sitting there, paralyzed by fear, by doubt, by the unknown. This is your wake-up call. The unknown is not your enemy. It's your teacher. It's here to show you what you're capable of. It's here to test your limits, to push you beyond what you thought possible. You may feel alone in your fear, but you're not. Every single person on this planet has faced the unknown at some point in their life. Every single one of them has felt that same anxiety, that same uncertainty. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't, it's not that the successful ones never felt fear, it's that they move forward in spite of it. Now let's talk about trust. I need to trust in yourself. Trust that no matter what happens, you will figure it out. You've done it before, and you'll do it again. The unknown may be filled with uncertainty, but you are certain. You are certain of your strength, your resilience, your ability to adapt, to grow, to rise. And let me tell you something, trust in life. Trust that even when it feels like everything is falling apart, it's actually falling into place. Life is a way of working out, even when we can't see it. You may not know what's coming, but trust that whatever it is, you are ready for it. Now ask yourself this question. Will you let the fear of the unknown control your life? Or will you step into the unknown with courage, with strength, with the knowledge that you are capable of more than you ever imagined? This is your time. This is your moment. Don't let fear hold you back any longer. You are stronger than the unknown. You've proven it before, and you will prove it again. And finally, if you're still unsure, still feeling like the unknown is too much to handle, leave a message in the comments. Let me know what's weighing on you, what you're afraid of. I will be here to walk with you through your fear, to remind you that you are not alone. Together we will face the unknown. Together we will rise above it. You're not alone in this. You never have been, and you never will be. We'll face it together.